Let Jaylen Brown have the chance to run the team and be the guy next year. Don't trade him now. He doesn't want to see that. You hear that comment from Shams. It takes on a different meaning than when you see it in print when he says, I'm sure.
I'm sure teams are throwing crazy offers for guys like Jaylen Brown and Derrick White. But
that's just a casual conversation where he's like theorizing and he's guessing. He's not reporting that.
When I first saw it pop up, I thought he was talking about legit offers he had heard that the Celtics were fielding for Jaylen Brown and Derrick White.
This is why inflection and tone matters. Oh, I'm sure there's teams throwing big offers at the Celtics right now versus I'm sure there are teams that are right now throwing offers at the Celtics. Well, it's like, well, wait a second. Those are two different things. Same sentence. The way it was framed yesterday, as soon as it happened on social media, you saw the quote as if it were him reporting. You're like, whoa.
Put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yes. And so he's kind of throwing that out there. I don't know how firm that is. But he's obviously plugged in. I don't think he would say that if he didn't think there were teams thinking about it.
Well, think about it. Giannis
How are you not
doesn't
thinking
seem
about
like
it?
he's on the table right now. And so if you're looking for that next superstar, if you're the Rockets or someone like that misses out on Kevin Durant or the Spurs, isn't Jaylen Brown the next guy or Derrick White the next guy you kick the tires on in terms of names that you want to bring in?
That's what you think.
Yeah.
I would be trying to pick Boston's brain on that, or at least seeing if they're open for doing business. That makes all the more sense in the world, especially with Tatum being shelved. Yeah. I feel great, by the way. No, they're not selling pies outside the door, though.
New man?
Wow. Never had that happen like that before.
Sure you have. At Honey Pot Farm.
No, yeah, you're right.
Hill,
yeah.
Whatever.
Routinely, I would say.
Yeah, not like this where you're like trying to hold it and all of a sudden you start sweating.
Yeah.
That's
The
sweat lip.
The slow jog was pretty funny.
You picked up the pace, too, as soon as you got out the door. Yeah.
Well, I can't get into this bathroom down here for some reason since the whole lockdown happened.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that, though. But
Okay, but let's assume for the sake of the conversation this is happening. Teams are making offers to the Celtics. How do you react if you're the Celtics?
I listen.
I listen, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's your job to listen. You don't think Danny listened? Yeah, Brad's got to listen. I don't think he wants to give those guys up. I still take it as Brad's going to try and put the best team together next year, and it's not going to be what McKone thinks and take that step back. He's going to try and get into the playoffs, try and mix it up. Led by Jaylen Brown and Derrick White, and a bigger role for Peyton Pritchard.
I think you have to
get a big body. Not as much threes, Joe, we're going to switch it up a little bit this year.
I think you have to keep all options open. And I understand Jaylen Brown's a great player, and I'm not saying you just get rid of him no matter what happens. But if a team gets stupid and offers you something crazy that could lay the foundation and also give you financial flexibility moving forward, which is a huge issue because you're never going to have the roster that you had over the last 2 years again, not with the second apron. It's not going to happen. If you get a Godfather offer, you absolutely have to look at it.
What if your core four players in 2 years is the Jays, Derrick White, and Peyton Pritchard? And I can't fill in who the big is in this situation because I don't know.
Right. You're still top 3 team in the East, if not top 2, if they're at full health, and Tatum's ready to go, and he's kind of the same guy.
And is that the goal? Top 3 in the East, is that the goal?
No, I'm just saying at a minimum. At a minimum, that's what they are. It's hard to know what.
I was going to say top 4, but
I'm saying, how do you feel about that team? Don't you feel really good?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah.
So what's wrong with that future?
Because if there's a better option and a better future for you, I don't know why you take it just because you like Jaylen Brown as a player.
Okay, I'm with you, but I just don't understand how they would get a better future out of trading him. I'd have to see it.
Let me see. All right,
I'd
so let's
have to see the deal to believe this.
He's saying stupid offers.
Because here's the problem with deals like this.
Yeah.
It's what we just talked about with Rafi Devers. If they're doing a deal, it is likely Jaylen Brown is the best player in the deal. And I believe oftentimes when you are the team trading away the best player in any deal, you're setting yourself up to really potentially lose in a big way.
Yeah.
Especially when the player's in their prime.
No doubt.
Not when they're on the back nine and aging. This player's in his prime.
Huge risk, for sure. But let's say the Spurs offer you the second pick, Steph Castle, who was the Rookie of the Year last year, and a player that could be a rotational piece for you.
Yeah, that doesn't really do it for me. It doesn't. I need to know that you've got a 1A, a guaranteed 1A talent on your roster for 2027 and beyond.
Well, isn't this too where like the scouting comes in? Like if Brad Stevens is looking at the number 2 pick and he says, there's a guy in this draft at 2, Dylan Harper, who I think is going to project to be an all-NBA player. Doesn't that change the equation?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right about that, and it does. Because Jason Tatum was not the first overall pick, and Jaylen Brown was not the first overall pick, as we know. That is well documented. Yes. But the Celtics were so good to know to take Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And I have that same level of faith in Brad Stevens right now that I think we used to have in Danny Ainge in that regard. So, yeah.
I do too. I have faith in Stevens.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at that and you see a young guy that you think you could be looking at as a future pillar of the organization, financial flexibility, and 2 other pieces that are going to help you, and this is going to be a red shirt year regardless because you're not going to have Jason Tatum out there, I think you have to look at that. I do.
You know what? You're making a good argument, McKone. That's the best argument you've made to date on this.
I'm pretty passionate about this.
I just don't think you should hang up the phone. If
I don't think so either. We all agree on this.
Yeah.
I think you should listen to every offer always.
I'll take a crazy offer, sure.
The tough part is
always have to listen.
Well, like Sham said, it's gonna be a huge offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tough part is, and maybe this explains the social media posts that T-Bone was talking about. If Jaylen Brown finds out that you're talking about trades, he's going to be really pissed, like he was a couple years ago with the Kevin Durant stuff.
Love it.
I don't think he will be.
No?
He's kind of past it. You're christened. You get the 2 MVPs.
I think he understands how the league works.
I hope so.
And this league works with big trades and big names being traded all the time.
Yeah.
This feels like he's more aware of it though this
Yeah.
year. He is making like a concerted effort to like be involved in the community and everything, and he wants you to know about it.
Look at our golf tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's the league. You got to just understand this is what happens in this league. Speaking of things happening in the league, it's Game 7. It's on. Coming up Sunday night. 617-779.
2 best words in sports.
Let's get to it. The NBA Finals being pushed to a Game 7 for the first time since 2016. It has been a bit. And now people will actually have to watch this thing. And thoughts on if it goes the Pacers' way. What a win that is for Jason Tatum.